Many retirees find themselves coming up a few $100s short per month, every month. Hi, my name is Ken Pitts, and I'm the author of Kinetic Wealth and a mortgage advisor. And today we're going to talk about the gap. In a recent study by Vanguard Retirement Readiness, they found that many Americans who have savings for retirement between $200 and $1 million are finding themselves short every month to the tune of about $700. That's $8,400 a year. If you find yourself in this situation, this video is for you. So first, let's talk about why do cash flow gaps happen. When you retire, your income becomes fixed. However, expenses don't necessarily become fixed. Things like inflation causing prices to rise. You may have additional needs for your own medical situation. All these are costs that can go up during retirement, but your income isn't necessarily going up. Generally, it's fixed, and that can create a gap in your affordability every month. So how do we make up that gap? Well, oftentimes for a retiree, they have to start figuring out areas where they can cut back. Now, most retirees have already cut back their lifestyle because they're on a fixed income. But if prices go up and your expenses go up, now you're really starting to cut into your lifestyle, and there are ways to get around that. So let's talk about a few options on how to bridge the gap. One of them is to look at the equity that's in your home. A reverse mortgage can be used to extinguish a mortgage payment, in which case your cash flow will increase dramatically, probably more than twice the gap that they see in the marketplace. Most people have an average mortgage payment of $1,000 to $1,100 for principal and interest that exists on their home. If you can get that paid off using a reverse mortgage that has no payment, you immediately can get rid of a gap, that average gap that the report talks about, that $700 gap. So think about that. Think about a reverse mortgage, particularly if you own your house outright. It can actually generate cash flow to you and cover that $700 gap very easily. Also, there are other options that you can consider. For some people, they'll rent out a room in their house that'll generate extra income to cover the gap. That's something to consider as well. And lastly, downsizing is an option, but only if the math works. So you can check that out in one of my previous videos, the hidden cost of downsizing. So just to reiterate, some of the positives for a reverse mortgage is it can generate that extra cash flow you need to cover any gaps. It's a safety net for you going forward so that you have access to some assets in the event that you maybe run into a month where you're coming up short. And it's a reliable source of cash flow during retirement. So a $700 shortfall in your cash flow maybe doesn't sound like it's that much, but it sure adds up over time. Having a plan in place to be able to bridge that gap is really important. So keep that in mind, that a reverse mortgage can be there to help you bridge that gap. I'm Ken Pitts, and I've written a book, Kinetic Wealth. That book is available to you to answer any questions you might have on reverse mortgages. And as always, I'm available if you want to contact me directly with any questions on reverse mortgages. Thank you.